cut list and also
Yeah, I'm
okay,
recording the meeting.
you know,
Why?
can I continue?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Oh yeah.
So
Record
this uncle, when he heard that his course was not after like in his final year, and he found out that NUC scrapped their course, he came back home and he became a very quiet person. He doesn't have anything doing. And this man is almost 45 or 50. He's not married. He's so angry with himself. He's so angry with the government. He's so angry with the school authority. For how long will you continue to do this? You know, people have tried to talk him out of it, but he's still in his shell. You know, so to me, I feel in that aspect, it's not so good at all. You know, it's not. So I wouldn't call him a failure, but in that aspect, he has not tried at all. You know, so a lot of people fail. A lot of people have seen a lot. Have seen a lot. Yeah.
Wow. So, meaning people, they don't want to, is it that they don't want to realize it? They don't want to take it into themselves that they have failed in a certain way, or they just feel that not talking about it is the main deal.
Well, you know, a lot of people deal with issues differently.
Yes.
Like for someone like me, if I fail in a particular thing, thank God for the kind of husband I have. He's always my motivation. He pushes me all the time and tells me, no, yes, you can do this. And I'll be telling him, I'm a lawyer for crying out loud. How would you expect me to go and learn tailoring? You know, I learned tailoring when I was 17 or 18. I didn't like it. I didn't like the skill. I didn't like it. My parents paid for the training. And I remember that when I got to the tailor's shop, I am my younger sister. She got there 2 weeks before me. And so she became my senior. You know, that kind of tailors that in those days in Abule Jesha. So they couldn't talk to my younger sister anyhow. I mean, you see some small girls who, because they didn't go to school, they became our senior. And they'll be telling me, go and wash madam's baby's diaper, go and fetch water. They will cook food, will not eat with them, you know. So those kind of things got me upset. I remember the day I was told to go and fetch water for the shop. I saw some of our schoolmates in secondary school were heading towards Yaba Tech, going for lectures. I had to hide. I had to hide, you know, so I left it. So my mother will be always pushing me and telling me, you can learn tailoring, you can learn graphic designing, I can't do everything. But if I fail in a particular thing, I realize it and I'll work towards it. I don't give failure a chance in my life. Because I notice once you do that, you will be gradually go back to your shell, and you would not become, probably sometimes the person can become depressed and not happy. At the end of the day, you just be in a world of your own. And people will be wondering, why is this happening? So people react to failure in different ways. Some people will feel to just be on their own is a way for them to realize themselves. Some people feel that when they pray about it or they discuss with somebody about it, then they realize themselves. Some people feel when they get angry and they pick up themselves again and try the thing again, you know. So sometimes people don't realize what to do. Sometimes many people don't realize what to do. Or some people feel when I discuss with somebody, they will laugh at me. Like recently, one of my younger sister, like a sister in church, has been planning for the bar final exam. That's for lawyers. You know, I remember she was always calling me, please pray for me, because I have a prayer group. We pray every night, 12 to 12:30 on WhatsApp. You know, so she would tell me, please pray for me. I don't want to fail this exam. I know what I've been through. You know, she spent like 10 years studying 5-year course, you know. So at the end of the day, she wrote the exam and I didn't hear from her. My mind just went through to her. I've not heard from this lady. What could happen? At the end of the day, I called her and she told me she didn't make the exam, that she didn't pass the exam. This lady broke she went back to her shell, and we had to talk yesterday. And 2 days ago, 3 days was the call to bar. A lot of people were calling her. We've not seen your posts, we've not seen your pictures, we've not seen you in Abuja. What's happening? They wanted to confirm whether she passed or not. You know, and I think it is really frustrating. So we had to talk all through yesterday. For like 5 hours, we're together in my car. We discussed at length. So I was telling her that everybody has their own challenges. So do not think your own is so special. Yours is not so special. Everybody has a peculiar thing they are facing or they are passing through. So if yours is just bar final exam, I mean, 75,000 naira is not a big deal for you to get and rewrite the exam again. You know, so she called me this morning and sent a message and said she has never felt this way, that now she's talking to everybody in the house, she's playing with everybody in the house, she watched television yesterday, that she has not done that after she failed the exam. You know, so a lot of people, they react to failure in different ways, in different ways, in different ways.
So, wow. So now this takes me to my next question, direct at you. So have you ever failed before?
Ah, so many times.
Really?
Several times. Several times. The first time I would say that I failed in my life, not primary school, it was after secondary school. You know, while we're in secondary school, I wrote JAM 6 times, JAM exam,
Wow.
6 good times.
Wow.
You know, and I'm to my parents. My mom ensured that I kept on writing the exam and I must pass the exam.
Not
You
giving
know,
up.
so that alone brought me to my world and say, no, you are not getting younger anymore. No, this is getting too much. You know, started writing from SS2. Maybe I had one, I can remember I had 140 something or 120 something. That could not even take me anywhere. You know, when secondary school SS2, it was not a big deal. Maybe my mommy just felt she had the money. I was not particular about it. Then second year, then I wrote WAEC in school. I didn't pass. Then my parents took me to Ikorodu in 2003. Maya, to be precise, Maya. Maya is a community that now is so developed. In those days, you could count how many houses were in that community. So they had this secondary school. So I went to rewrite my WAEC there and I passed. So the only the only course I couldn't pass was literature in English. It was withheld. Then I put in for Polyjam. I passed Polyjam. So I went for mass communication. And I was told that the Polytechnic that if I cannot get my literature in English, they withdraw my admission. So I prayed to God. I really prayed. You know, you fast and pray as a young girl, you know, telling God you're a good girl, blah, blah, blah. And so they released my result and I passed. You know, so while I was in Last Tech, I was still writing jam. They tell me 3 centers were cancelled. I wrote one in Lagos Island, I wrote one in Surulere, and I think I wrote one in Mushin. They were cancelled. I mean, at different times. Then I went as far as writing my JAMB exam in Port Harcourt. My parents felt maybe if I go to Port Harcourt, maybe I would pass, maybe because of the expo and all the malpractice in Lagos is causing those things for me. Some of the exam I failed. I could pass, but cut-off mark would in the university. You know, they introduced what they call post-UME. You know, that alone, it was I don't know what happened. Maybe because I was choosing the wrong university. I chose Unilag for 6 years. And maybe God knows that if I had gone to Unilag, I would have been a bad girl or because I just wanted to be myself, you know, so it didn't work out. So I kept writing. My parents kept paying for JAMB exam, 2000 and something naira, kept paying. And I thank God my mom never, ever insulted me or never called and said, you are a shameless girl. I felt she knows the kind of daughter she had. And so she never talked me down or insulted me or abused or, you know, literally I wrote the exam in Aba, still did not pass. Came back to Yanopaja the following year in 2007 or 8. And I passed in Yanopaja. So I could remember I still wrote what do you call it? Diploma. We went for diploma in Unilag. I and my younger sister, we paid about over 250,000. I told my mom, I said, Mommy, don't pay for this course. I don't want to do diploma. Let me go back and finish my HND. Then I'll become a graduate. At least, you know, my mom will say, no, the Lord told I thank God. I thank God for my foundation. I was born in Celestial Church, and I still attend the church still now. But the day I was christened, prophecies came and said I must study law, that this child must study law and all. And that was what my parents held on to. So she's always telling me, mass comm is not the course God wants you to study. She practically ensured that I walked in that light or in that line. And so I told her, I said, let me go back and finish my HND. At least I'll be a graduate at 24 or 25 and I'm done. She said, no, you have to study law. And lo and behold, I couldn't get a diploma in law in Unilag. In fact, my name did not even come out for anything. They didn't consider me for any other course because when we got to the exam hall, we're told we're going to write English and mathematics. And I do not know anything about mathematics. I don't know it. I always say it's not maybe I should be ashamed of it. I don't just know it. Maybe if you tutor me now, I can learn it now, but generally I don't. So when we got to the exam hall, we were giving question papers. I saw English and math. I answered the English first. There was the point sitting down in the exam hall when I cannot even understand what to answer. So I stood up, I said I was done. In the I can't remember the hall, is it a Babalala hall or something? Very big hall in Unilag. And he said, everybody looked at me like, hey, genius. And I'm like, the woman now took my question paper, sorry, my answer sheet and said, my dear, what did you just do? You've not answered your mathematics. I don't know it and I cannot ask. I can't copy and I can't be asking the ceiling. So the woman said, oh, these children, you just waste your parents' money. They say a lot of people laughed at me and I walked out of the exam hall. So I was not even expecting to be listed or enlisted in the university. I was not even expecting it. When my parents, I said, that's what I did. I cannot be cheating in the exam hall because I want to study law. So I understood that. I left it. I went to Babcock. I got to Babcock. I saw students. When I got to Babcock, I was almost 25. I saw students from wearing their school uniform. They brought them from different schools, Lagoon, Unilag, so many buses, school buses came. And they were all, some of them were 13, 14. You could see it on them all over that these guys were so young. So we wrote the exam and I became the second best. So they check up your results before they give you the course. So because I came out at the second best, I had to go and study law automatically. So I have failed several times. You see, the JAMB exam alone really taught me to be very humble. When all our friends will be having their alumni meeting, we're all graduates. I was still in year one, battling with law. So I couldn't even attend. I couldn't attend anything alumni. I didn't have the mind to attend it. It became so bad. The lecturers used to call me Sister Mary in class. They couldn't call me by my name because I was the eldest lady in class. You have girls who were 13, 14. Parents used to send their money to my account to pay them because they couldn't open an account at that then. So it was that bad. But all through Babcock days, I didn't have any carryover, nothing. I passed and I graduated. So that alone, I can never forget that story.
Wow. So from your story, from what I could pick from your story now, is that even despite your age, the age could not be your limit. You just kept going and then making sure that what you've been told that you were going to be a lawyer, according to your story, is what kept you. And that's what your mom also held on to, and she insisted that
I can't hear you clearly.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Is it better now?
It's very faint.
Okay. Hold on. How about now?
Well, it's manageable though.
Really? Is it better now?
Okay.
It's better now.
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. So I said earlier on that according to what your mom told you, you held on to that, and age was not, you were not seeing age as a barrier. So
Okay.
among the people that you got the admission with, you were not seeing age as a barrier, and then you kept trying. You said you wrote jam for you wrote jam 6 times, 6 good times, and you just held on to what your mom has told you, that you are going to be a lawyer, and then you kept on going, even writing other exams and poll, and now, yeah. So what I could pick from your story is that no matter what it was, the situation was, you kept on, you held on to what you were told, and that's what helped you, in going on to write that jam, in going on to be that lawyer that you are today, that your mom said you were, though at a point you were giving up. You were giving up. You were already saying that, okay, you could go read mass comm. You could do mass comm and become a whatever, But because
A
you were
journalist.
told that it's going to be a lawyer, it's lawyer, and you just kept on with that. So no matter how we feel, no matter the others on the road to our path of success, there should be something that we should hold on to. And that's what you held on to, and that's what kept you going along the line, if I hear you right.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
very good, very good. So now I would also like to ask you, so would I say, can you also share another remarkable story about your being a founder? Because I know that it's not that easy also being a founder.
Okay. So growing up, like I told you, in the Celestial Church many years ago, the church didn't have any plan for teenagers. The church only had plans for youth. And so in Celestial Church, youth starts from age 18 to 40. And so the church didn't have any plan. Generally, Celestial Church didn't have a particular plan for teenagers. So I remember that when I clocked 19, when I was 19 years old, the gift I gave myself, I remember very vividly, was to enroll myself in a theology school. So I and my younger sister, my cousin, went to the theology school. We were the youngest.
Wow.
As of 2004. So when we enrolled, it was at Oshodi. So we went for like, I think it was 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, but it was all weekend, Saturday. So we enrolled and we were going to, although it was owned by the owner of this theology school is a Celestian, but he had already gone to, I think, Redeem, Winners to learn, and I think Daystar Church or something. So he now started his own. And so we went to the theology school, and we had the basics. We had the basic knowledge of theology. I can't remember the courses we did, but I know I did Christian ethics.
Okay.
So when we graduated from the theology school, it was a very big celebration, but we didn't see it as a very big thing. We wore the graduation gown, and all. So there was this yearning in me that I didn't like the fact that some of my mates, as at 19 years, were already mothers. They were already teenage. Is it teen parents or teen mothers? There a lot of them in our area in Iwaya community after Yaba, after Sabo, a lot of them were already mothers, and it baffled me. Like, why would you just do this? Sometimes it was just one time sex, and it became pregnancy, which very, very, very well it happens that way sometimes, if it was during the ovulation period and all, and it dawned on me that I needed to do something to help the younger ones, and even to help myself. You get. So I started training teenagers in church. So we had our teenagers We started talking to them. Of course, they wouldn't let me teach my mates sometimes, but I would teach the younger ones, maybe from age 12. I was teaching them. We had different curriculum. We just had curriculum for them, and we worked with it. From there, I left my house, went to stay with my sister in Lasso. Was going from there to school in Lagos Poly. From there, I joined another church, another parish in that area. I found that same thing happening in my previous church. Still happens that you see a lot of teenagers pregnant, and because of that, their life will be on hold. They have to face the baby, take care of the baby. So I joined the Sunday school. We call it Sunday school department. I joined Sunday school department. All the trainings we had in that, I inculcated them in the church. Now, some parents got.
At what age is this? At what age did you start this?
19.
19.
Yes.
Okay.
Immediately I came out from my theology school, just like they unleashed me. There was something that wants to be unleashed out of me. I just wanted to prove to the world that yes, I can be a celeste. People say cele. I can be a cele member, and I am grounded in the word of God. I can be a cele member, and I'm not a dirty looking cele member with dirty looking white garments. I can be a celestial member and not use the so-called perfumes we use in the church and wear the perfume as my own perfume. I dislike all those kind of lifestyle. I like to be a celestial member, driving in my clean car, wearing a Gucci perfume. When I speak, you know that, yeah, this is an orator. When it comes to how did I meet my husband? We met in Babcock. He came to build one of the hostels as one of the engineers on site. And we met and we became friends. So the day he came to see me, I didn't know he was an assistant pastor in Christ Embassy. He was already in the training. I didn't know. So he was asking me Bible. We were discussing. When you ask, what church do you attend? And I said, I attend Sele. The man couldn't believe it. He said he has never seen a Sele girl know much of the Bible. All they know is candle, spiritual work. And I said, no, I don't believe. That's the doctrine of the church. But I'm an agent of change. That is why I am still. All my sisters don't go anymore. You should know. I mean, Becky, you know us when we're growing up in school.
Yeah.
All my sisters do not go anymore.
Yeah.
They try to pull me out, and I tell them, no, I need to be here because God has planted me here. My sister was telling me some days before my conference we had for teenagers in May, and she said she regretted ever doing all those things she did to me because of not going to Celestial Church, and that she has seen the reason why I was dogged, I was stubborn to stay in the church, and now it has paid off. So when we started the movement, some parents would tell us, no, don't teach my children strange doctrines. Sometimes I had a face-off with some parents in church. Sometimes we go to their houses, like I still do it now. I do it till now. I have my husband, we go to teenagers' houses to inform their parents about our hangout, because we have a hangout with them every month. We go from house to house. But some people still think, okay, they don't have a child yet. They go to select church. They want to use our children for rituals. I see that as well. And I don't get angry with that. I don't get angry about that. So because of the yearning, we started the movement. And I've been a Sunday school teacher in Waya, in Ojo, in Ogba, in Ikeja. I mean, in Ikorodu, about 3 churches in Ikorodu. So I understand what it means. And so since then we started, it was really hard for us to pave way and to penetrate more in the teenagers. But thank God for today, now they realize that we exist. Whenever they have a program for teenagers in Celestial Church worldwide or in Lagos State, like there's a conference coming up in August for us, all celestial youth and teenagers. I've been called upon to, I'm going to serve also as a counselor for them and as a legal counsel, so now they recognize that we exist and we are tutoring these teenagers. And so, so it's a good deal for me. And I'm grateful to God that if Celestial Church that is 70 something years old of a church now recognize, okay, people like Mary Pillar is somewhere. You need to invite her. You need to do this. So so it gives me joy. Even if they don't, even when they don't pay me honorarium or they don't pay me, oh, thank you for coming. I'm grateful that I'm doing the work that I love doing. So that is our joy. Recently, don't let me shout. Like this is like I sap my husband's account almost every month. I always, in fact, I drain it almost every month, and he's always there to assist us. He's a co-founder as well, so he doesn't see it as a big deal. Sometimes we don't even think of what to eat, but once it comes to those children, oh, we need to do this for them, we need to do this for them. We sap all the accounts just to ensure that these teenagers are comfortable. I don't believe gathering teenagers and don't give them food to eat. It is wrong. It is so wrong, but some people don't see it that way. So I prefer, I will feed you like kings, because I know when you get to your houses, you might not see this kind of food to eat. So I'm grateful to God that we keep on doing this and we will not stop. We will never stop. We'll continue to do it. We're not doing it because we want the politician to see us and recognize us. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. People should see us and say, okay, no. We're doing it because for the love of, will I say, humanitarian duty or something, so that is it really.
So in the process of what you're doing, it's like you're finding purpose.
Yes.
You're finding purpose, and then you're fulfilling that purpose.
Yes.
But at 19, that you started this movement, don't you feel somehow that your friends, or let me put it this way, at 19, when you started this movement, do you get talks from your friends, your age mate, that what's she doing? What is she doing? What's so special about her that she's the one coming to teach us? Is it that she knows too much or something? Do you get that?
Okay, so the thing is, growing up, like I used to be the ringleader. Yes. So I used to have my goons in church. So whatever I tell them to do, they do. So when I was 18 years, when I clocked 18, all my friends in church had boyfriends. And so, because I used to act like a boy, so they used to mock and say, tomboy, you cannot get a boyfriend. You are too ugly. You are too this and that and all. So I made sure that boyfriend something, I did it. I got a boyfriend. And in fact, the guy was the best of all of them, all of their own boyfriends, because he was in Unilag, studying electrical engineering at age. He was 19 when I was 18. Okay. So I wanted to be like my friends. But my dear, the relationship did not last more than 2 months, even a month or some weeks, because he wanted to have sex with me. And I remember my parents always tell us that once you get pregnant, you see that shop in that woman's that market, I will buy that woman's shop and you will be selling pepper there. Anytime I'm coming from work, I will horn my car and tell you, well done, oh, how was market, oh, and she'll drive off. So those thoughts came to me and I said, no, I didn't bargain for this. In fact, the guy tried a lot of nonsense with me. I had to tell my sister that, hey, this guy will put me in one corner. This is not failure story now, but he will take me. I'm sure Unilag Road, Aton Cemetery. He will take me there and he will press my breast. He will kiss me. He will kiss me. He will kiss me. This thing happened for like 2 weeks. And a girl that was just growing, the breast was just coming out. And I get home, I get pains in my breast. So I told my sister that, I said, this has been happening. You are pregnant. Oh, our mommy said if a man touches you, you are pregnant. So we began to check whether I am pregnant or not. We started checking the time, and I found that it was not real. So I had to quit the relationship. The worst thing was he called me and said I should come to a friend's place. So when I got there, in fact, the room was like it was owned by a retarded person or something. The house was dirty, everything. So as I already told my sisters that, please, I'm going to see this guy. You guys should follow me. Once you hear any noise or any sound, please bang the door and save me. This I have I have 4 sisters. So when I got to the house, he just locked the door. Bah. And I told myself, yes, today now today. So he just said, what's wrong with you? There's my hand biting you. Sit on the bed. You just pushed me on the bed. If you heard the way I screamed that day, my sister started banging the door. Mary, 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 Mary. And that was how God saved me. He said, what? Get out from this house. And that was it. That was the end of the relationship. So because of that, they couldn't, none of them could tell me, Kilonshe, what's wrong with her? Is she the only one? I was the one cutting the shots ever since then. So when they see me, oh, she's about doing teenager something, they'll sit down somewhere and be, whatever they say to themselves, they don't face me to tell me. But I know they always react in a funny way. So some people started calling us pastor, pastor, pastor. And Celestial Church, it was only one pastor we had. That's the supreme head. So that was how I got all those remarks. Even sometimes my aunties would say, no, you're not going out today. And it would be like, oh, no, we need to go and, we need to go and save a soul. We need to go and call this child. We need to call this. Say, no, Jokule. So we sit down sometimes at home. But most times I did all those things and I didn't care. Even when our former shepherd then at that time, he's late now, he saw us, we came to church for my group, we came to church to pray, vigil. And some of my friends already started speaking in tongues at that time. But I was not speaking in tongues, because I believe it was not a celestial doctrine. It was only for some prophets in celestial church and all. So when we come to church to pray like that, we will pray and pray. So the shepherd was so angry with us that he doesn't want to see us come to church again and be praying, that we're trying to teach the children fake doctrines and wrong doctrines. I said no. So we refused, we disobeyed him because we have to obey God. Because we just have to do God's work, no matter who objects it. So the following weekend, we went to church again. And so this man saw us and he couldn't say what because he saw people like us at the meeting. And so he just sighed and went inside his room and locked up his whole house. He didn't want to hear us pray. He didn't want to hear anything. Before we knew it, he had to go and report us to the Celestial Youth General, at the general Celestial Youth meeting. And so when we went for the meeting in E4, a lot of Celestials will come from all the parts of the world. I mean, in Nigeria, those that can come from abroad will come from abroad for the 4 days training and all. So we were in that training now when the head of the youth is a professor, was once a professor in Ilag, and now he's about 80 something or 90. So the man now called our parish name. So we felt maybe they wanted to give us an award or something for all the things we've been doing in church and all. The man said we should need that in the whole congregation, and started lamenting, insulting us, that our shepherd reported us, that we are rude, we are this, we are that, and that if we continue like that, they will stop us from attending meetings with them. And so when that happened, he broke us into pieces. We couldn't do a lot of things. Before we knew it, a lot of people went to school. So that was how our meeting ended. Everybody gained admission and we all left. So that's how our meetings ended. But to God be the glory. To God be the glory. It's still they're trying their best, and I'm grateful to God in the parish. They're really doing well.
Wow. So what are your challenges right now on this fulfilling your purpose on these teenagers thing that you're doing?
Well, like I said, a lot of challenges we face. First is the home front.
Home front.
I work for myself. I run from home. That's my legal law firm.
Yeah.
Then my husband also runs from home. Is a builder, building engineer. So we don't get salary, we don't get paid at the end of the month. So it's what we hustle for the month we enjoy. So one of the challenges I think we have is that when we have the small stipends to keep us going before we get another job to do, another brief to handle, then we remember Teenagers Connect group. Remember that some teenagers need some stuffs, maybe school fees, so all the money will be channeled into that project. As we speak, we're trying to go to 10 schools in Ikorodu. That's 10 Lagos State schools in Ikorodu, where we share back to school kits. That's a book, biros, and then maybe goodies from our sponsors, and then a school bag. Now we're trying to make the bag with all those people that make bags. At least for some people who cannot afford to buy, parents can afford to buy bags for them in Lagos State. I mean, all these public schools, some of them come to school with nylons. So when we had a cost for this movement to make 1,000. So when you give 100 students per school, that's about 1,000 notebooks.
Okay.
It's costing us about, I was told, 120,000.
Okay.
Then to make the bag is costing us about 150,000. So now we are still on the move, on the run, to ensuring that we get this money, and give back to the society. So greatest challenge for us is finances.
Finances.
So, but once and God has been really faithful to us. Some days to our hangout, we are saying, "Oh, how do we get money? Who will sponsor us and all?" Before you know it, somebody just come here and say, "Can you help me draft these documents? Can you do this? Tell my husband, can you just help me give me this quotation for how many things will cost me to build 3 bedrooms?" So once he gives the person the quotation, he gets his money. Before we know, we gather the money together and we start paying for. We pay for the rentals, we pay for food, we pay for snacks, we pay for this and that. So, and I think that's one of our challenges. And secondly is because of our kind of church we attend, it makes some parents not trust us so much. I mean, some parents that attend the same church with us,
Really?
not my parish. When we had a conference, I went around because I didn't know whether or not I would get 250 teenagers to attend the conference. So we were going from my street to another street, inviting teenagers to come. So on that day, we use a matrix car, and so my husband went like about 5 to 6 times, parking teenagers from the streets to the venue. He would drive back to the streets, park the next set to the venue. At the end of the day, we got over 250 teenagers that attended the program.
Wow. Wow.
So and when we finished the program, I went back and informed the woman that okay, we'll be having weekly and monthly hangout for them. The woman just said, I saw a reaction. No, my children, they go to lesson. And I'm like, wow, 2 hours, 10 to 12, they go to lesson. And these are our celestial members. So I see that reaction a lot, and to me, it doesn't move me. I just believe that in no time, what is good will stand the test of time.
Definitely.
If we're doing something bad, in no time, it will tell. If we're doing something good, in no time, the truth will always stand the test of time. So we're taking it gradually. So those are the challenges we have. And I don't know how to ask people for money, but running an NGO foundation, you must ask. It's a charitable organization. You must continue. My husband doesn't want me to ask people, but I must ask. But sometimes you see the way people react. I understand the situation of things. I understand. So I don't hold it against them. So people promise and tell you, if you need anything, let me know. Anything you need, let me know. So the time for our conference now, I started, sending them messages, mails. They will just read and not even respond. And these guys will promise me heaven and earth. So it happens. So I understand. If God doesn't tell them to help, they will not help. But in our own little way, I can say that from our own personal account or our personal purse, we have been doing great. We've been doing great things for these teenagers. So that's about it.
Nice one, nice one. So we'll be rounding off now, and what's your word for someone out there that's that have tried to do some things in before and they could not get a way to it? What word are you going to give to these people? What are you going to say to encourage these people? Because I have from your story now, we have what I could able to pick from your story is that there's a purpose that you are working towards, and it is that purpose that is driving you despite the challenges that you are facing. Acceptance from parents, not that fantastic. Even in the church settings, not that fantastic. Finances, not fantastic. So there's a purpose that is driving you. There's a goal that is driving you, and that is what is still keeping you in business to date. So what word are you going to give to someone that maybe someone that wants to start something, and has been given excuses, because we know we have many people that want to do something, but because they are waiting for people's encouragement, they are waiting for the finances, they are waiting for a good environment, and they are not doing anything about it. But everything is not that palatable according to your story right here. You have started something, and your purpose is that is holding you to it. So what word are you going to give to those people, those kind of people out there?
Okay, so the thing is, what I would tell them is, I didn't get to this level. Wow, sorry, Nepal.
You understand? This is Nigeria.
Okay, so thank you. So I didn't get to this level just like this. It took me a process. And so in that process, we prayed. I prayed my eyes out,
Okay.
So anyone who wants to, achieve something great in life, and they feel, how can I start? Well, how do I do it? People are not accepting it. Just keep doing it. Are you a writer and you feel people are not accepting your write-up? Just keep writing. I read a book, one of the books, one of our authors gave us, Treasure in Your Trash. So he mentioned about a writer who kept writing and writing, but his stories are not accepted. So the man got angry one day and he threw those things in the dustbin. So his wife went there, picked it up, and maybe the person went to prison, I can't remember. So picked it up and showed a few people, and they accepted it. In no time, the book was sold and it made millions.
Wow.
So whatever you do, just keep doing it. Somebody is somewhere seeing it. For me, I just keep writing on Facebook. I just keep writing on my social media handles. I didn't know people are seeing them. Because people don't even like your write-up. They don't even like your post sometimes. Only when you post your pictures, they like your pictures. But when it comes to educational something, they don't even like it. So I didn't know that a lot of people were seeing it. And people call me and tell me, oh, I see what you're doing on Facebook. Okay, so I don't know, we don't have much to pay you, but how can you come and talk to our teenagers and all? And I'm wondering, so you want to pay me? How much do you want to pay? Like, I don't even see the money aspect, but I'm always happy that, oh, you invited me to come and talk. Oh, I'm going to come. Some of our friends, one of our classmates called, secondary schoolmate called and said, oh, Mary, I see what you do, but you be big madam now. We don't know how to, we cannot even pay you. And my husband was like, pay what? Tell her to just invite you. The major thing is that at least you are talking to, you are impacting lives. So whoever needs to do something, let the person just continue, pray, ask for favor from God, ask for that connection, so that just one person can link you up with who you need to be with, and everything you need. One of our speakers for our conference, he runs a foundation for feeding he's always saying, say no to hunger, or hunger elevation or something. He feeds people. He feeds community every month. So during the COVID-19 pandemic era, so he had some good connections. So he started making palliatives, maybe 2 cups of rice or two derica of rice. He seals them, then seasoning in a small box, and was giving people for free. So when somebody in America saw it, Pepsi Cola in America saw him, and they were wild and said, okay, can you provide these palliatives or these boxes to 1 million Nigerians? And he said he could do it. How much does it cost per one? He said 3,500. And so they paid him. This is somebody who has been running this foundation on his own bill. Sometimes he goes to loan money to feed maybe our community today. He feeds them. They'll come, people line up and collect food. Then maybe come to Mushin community. Then he hit it big during pandemic. He was shown on CNN, Food Click, and he became Pepsi Cola ambassador. In just a day, the man bought a space bus, he bought a truck, and he bought a Sienna vehicle, new ones. He got a space. So it was huge. I mean, 3,500 times 1 million. That was his contract he got. So somebody somewhere is saying, he's seeing you, just keep doing it. Do not get tired. Even when parents are saying no, just keep praying to God that, that the eyes of understanding of the parents will be enlightened. They will not even see. I mean, today now, the social media, people in our time, you dare not. They say don't go to church, you must not go. But sometimes I have to hide my sutana in my bag. I remember the one time like that, I went to lesson, and so my sister said, no, you cannot go to Select Church again. Follow me to Daystar Church. So I was going to Daystar Church, but Daystar Church is a very good church. I mean, I started going to this house as a father in 2003, when they were in their former Kudira Tabiola way. And my sister was a leader in the church. So I knew some pastors. Some of them used to come to our house, to see, for cell meetings, for meetings and all. But I was not fulfilled. That Wednesday prayer meeting, I always like Wednesday prayer meeting. You go there, then I started speaking in tongues. I will speak, I will pray, but I was not. But each time I go to this church and I see Celestial Church on the roadside at Olushosun, I'm always like, wow, I wish I'm in this church. But thank God, it paid off. Sometimes they will, flog with cane, embarrass me in public. But I thank God, it's a success story. I said right up saying that failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the process of success. So today it is everybody is happy for me. Everybody, at least everybody. If you hated me before, I mean, see what I'm doing, you will thank God for my life and say, oh, this rough girl now can do something like this. My parents are supportive. My husband, my number one fan. So whatever you go to, just keep at it. Don't get tired. And when you think that you cannot achieve it, you get somebody who can mentor you, somebody who will talk to you and make you feel good. Not somebody who will talk to you, the person will carry your matter and make it a public discussion. Sometimes some teenagers are very funny. You are talking to them about how they live their life. Some of them are coming to meet you and telling you they want to be singing, they want to do music. Okay, what kind of music do you want to do? Is it gospel? No. Shidi balabala. No, that kind of thing. And I'm wondering, I cannot invest in such. I will not do it. I will not channel your energy. Rather go and study music in school. When you study music in school, by so doing, you will know what you want in life. You will know where to fit in. Not that you just come and say, hey, no, they reach anywhere. Go and study music first. UI enrolls people for music in UI, and I'm sure other schools as well. So do that. Or Polytechnic Ibadan, I don't know, but they do things like that. Maybe theater arts. Then from there, you carve your own niche. If it's music you want to do, before you know it, you can be singing opera, you can be singing jazz, and people will know you. And we don't really have a lot of jazz musicians in Nigeria. You can take that, or even opera.
Are you there?
So So that's about, so just keep at it, get a mentor, somebody who can support them financially, support them in prayers, support them in ideas, on how to, what to do, so that's about it.
Wow, wow. It's really been a very nice time with you. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. With
Thank you.
all that we have said tonight, that we have discussed tonight, what I could pick from the key points I could pick from what you just said is that to encourage someone out there, you must have a good mentor. You must have a good mentor. You should pray, commit your ways in God's hands, and then keep doing that thing. Don't give up on it. There could be someone out there saying it. That's what I could pick. So to someone out there, don't give up on what you are doing. You could fail 100 times. That does not mean you're a failure. Just keep at it. Keep at it, keep doing it. And then get a good mentor, get a very good mentor, read books, educate yourself, and then at the end of it all, pray, commit your ways to God, and let God lead you. And everything will be fine. So we would like to we'll be bringing this meeting to an end now. And thank you so much, Mrs. Mary Pillar-Gabriel, for answering to us today. We appreciate you. We hope when we call you next time, you would make yourself available. Thank you so much, so much, so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And we want to believe that you will do exploits.
Somebody's raising his hand or her hand.
Okay. Oh, nice. All right. I think someone has a question.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. This is Mr. Oyeyemi.
Good evening, sir.
He was my boss. Good evening, sir. How are you, sir?
Don't call me a boss, so.
He's now go.
You employed me. I just want to say I'm happy with what God is using you to accomplish. So, I pray for more strength upon your life.
Amen.
I've joined the program from the beginning to now, and I observe that it's quite very, very valuable to the development of youth and even adults. I've learned something. Failure is not final. And when you do something and it's not being appreciated immediately, and you know it's good, keep on doing it. The results will follow, the success will follow. So the Lord will strengthen you and make you happy, make you joyful. So thank you very much. The other, our other sister, the other lady that is anchoring the program. So God bless you.
Amen.
So thank you, sir. That this Zoom meeting accomplishes much, but for the limitation of maybe data for students. So I'm going to get across to you on how we can be able to support some people to be able to get data online. So we will discuss about that later as a little support we can offer to what we are doing. God bless you.
Amen, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for calling.
So the thing is, aside being my former boss, he's one of our great sponsors. One of our great sponsors in TCG.
Wow.
In fact, he's one of our backbones in TCG. Thank you.
God is the backbone. God is the supporter. And he will not leave us alone.
Amen.
So I'm happy with what you are doing. Yeah.
Thank you.
You don't know how far this little help this little support, you don't know how far it can go. And parents don't have so much of time, and they can't, sometimes they don't hit the nail on the head the way you do, or even when they are willing to talk or to speak about issues. The children at this age don't have listening ears. So having a platform to express what the parents maybe cannot do properly is a great thing and is very valuable. The Lord will
Thank you,
continue
sir.
to help you. Greetings to
Amen.
Daddy.
I
God
will,
bless
sir.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you very
Bye,
much,
sir.
sir. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
So I just want to say this before I go.
Okay.
Right. So because of COVID-19 restrictions and all, we're supposed to take our teenagers on excursion,
All right.
you know, to Dangote and some other few companies. So because of the restrictions, we cannot do that.
Oh, okay.
So and I'm thinking, what can we do? Because some of my teenagers that we are training, some of their parents don't even use an Android phone. They're not on WhatsApp group. They don't know anything. So we just have to be going from one house to another to be telling them, okay, now, so we're planning on taking them on tourism to a place in Ikorodu here called Dreamland. I think it's Dreamland or Dream World. Yeah, Dream Park, you know. So we're thinking of, you know, seeing a movie. Many of them have never been to a cinema before. Some of them have not been to ShopRite before, you know, so we're planning on doing that and having a nice time with them.
Okay.
So the plan we got, or the package we got, was 4,000 per child, of which their parents cannot afford it. So now it almost lies on us to mitigate will I say, reduce the price for them at 2,000 naira. So we're the ones going to bear the extra cost of 2,000 naira. So those are the things we do to make sure that these children are exposed. You know, so, and I pray God will just continue to strengthen us. That's just
Nice
that's
one.
just it, you know. So that's one of the major highlights for us now in TCG, what we're planning for them. And
Nice one.
you know, the response has been really nice. You know,
Nice
so
one.
thank
Nice
you
one.
so very much
Nice
for
one.
listening to our stories so that I can help people. You know, thank you so very much. I'm very grateful.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for joining us again. We'll still meet. You and I will still come together. We'll still have to. There are some things that we'll still need to do together. So
Okay.
that's after this.
Thank you.
We'll still do some chats after this. But for now, we'll round up this meeting and then we do our offline discussion after now. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Gabriel. Gabriel, I can see you. Thank you so very much. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Everyone, thank you for
grateful.
joining us. All our friends, our family, our loved ones, we appreciate you. We'll keep you posted when next we'll be having another guest. Thank you, everyone, and have a blessed night. Thank you, Mary, so much, and have a blessed night. Night.